trying to force somebody to go from pre-contemplation to action, it doesn't happen that often. They need to sort of work their way through those steps. Hi there, my name's Ken Seal, and we're still talking addiction. Okay, today what we're going to discuss is what they call the stages of change. Now, not everybody is in the same place in their mind as far as where they are in their addiction, okay? And it's important for especially family and friends of alcoholics and addicts to try to understand where the person is, because you need to meet them where they're at. If you try to push things before they're ready, you're just going to cause trouble. So let's just take a look. There's 5 different stages of change that we look at. The first stage of change is pre-contemplation. And at that point, the person who's using does not believe that they have a problem. So if you say to them, hey, look, John, I think you need to cut down, you're drinking too much or you're using too much, their response to that's going to be simply, you're out of your mind, you're crazy, I don't have a problem. I don't drink any more than anybody else does. And that's, and in their mind, they believe that. I mean, I remember myself when I was drinking, people might say to me, God, boy, you seem to drink a lot. But in my mind, I don't drink a lot because everybody I run around with drinks the same way I do, if not more. Okay, so the point is, in pre-contemplation, the person does not believe that they have a problem, that it's an issue at all. Okay, second stage is contemplation. This is where they have come to the point where they think, okay, maybe I do have a problem. Maybe there is an issue. Okay, I'm probably drinking more than I should. I'm drugging more than I should. It's starting to get me into trouble. Things are starting to happen that I don't like. I'm missing work, passing out. I'm getting in trouble. I'm having relationship issues, whatever. But the point is, they finally have come to the conclusion that, yes, this is causing me problems. Now, are they doing anything about it? No, they're not. They may know they have a problem, but they're not doing anything about it. I mean, years before I quit drinking, I knew that drinking was a problem, but I wasn't doing anything about it for whatever reasons. Okay, doesn't really matter what the reasons are. I wasn't doing anything about it. Okay, the next phase, the next stage is preparation. At this point, the person understands that they have an issue. Okay, and what they're starting to do at this point is to start to do research. They're looking into the situation, trying to figure out how I can deal with it. Now, it might be that they're thinking, all I need to do is quit drinking whiskey and just drink beer, or stop using hard drugs and just smoking marijuana. That could be, that could be an alternative that they could be looking into. They may be looking into MAT, medically assisted treatment. That's where you take some chemicals to help you in your recovery. Okay, or they may be looking into, treatment centers. Maybe I should go to outpatient, inpatient. What's the difference? They may be looking into 12-step programs. Okay, they may be thinking about talking to counselors. They may be searching out people that they know who have had addictions and have dealt with them and talking to them. But the bottom line is that they're looking for things to do to sort out the problem. They're not doing anything yet. They're just looking into ways to do it. Okay, the fourth stage is when they go into action. And at this point, they are either abstinent, in other words, not drinking or drugging at all, or they are at least trying to do it differently. They're trying to control their drinking through maybe MAT, or switching from alcohol, whiskey to beer, hard drugs to marijuana. But they're taking action. And in most cases, this means they're not drinking or drugging at all. Maybe they've been able to control their drinking in a certain way, but the point is, usually it's abstinence, okay? They're not drinking or drugging at all. It's very rare that somebody can go from drinking or drugging addictively to drinking or drugging socially. But hey, it's happened, all right? And they've been doing this for 6 months or less. Maintenance is when they've been doing this for 6 months or longer. And again, usually this means no drinking, no drugging, abstinence completely. Okay? All right. Now, what happens when somebody relapses? Okay? If they relapse, what means is that they've gone from action or maintenance right back to pre-contemplation. Because what's happened is that in their mind they've thought, wait, I don't have a problem. Actually, this is probably one of the biggest reasons that people relapse, is because in their mind they believe that they've got this, that they're cured. I'm okay now. I'm okay now. And what they're basically saying to themselves is that they're in pre-contemplation. I don't have a problem with this anymore. And back they go. Now, do they have to stay there forever? No, they can go from pre-contemplation on a relapse right back to action the next day. And in many cases, this happens. Well, they have, and what we would refer to this would be a slip. They've gone from maintenance or action, and they've taken a drink or a drug for a day or so, but then they're right back at it. So it's more of a slip than a relapse. And we're going to be discussing relapses and slips and recovery later on. So we'll get to that. Now, one thing that's important also for the, especially friend and family members to understand, is that if a person is in pre-contemplation, let's say, is it going to do any good to try to pressure them into going to treatment or going to rehab? Probably not, because they still don't think they have a problem. Now, many people do this using interventions, and we're going to discuss that also. But you have to understand that sometimes what needs to happen is that the person needs to be convinced that are in pre-contemplation to go to contemplation. In other words, it happened a lot when I was working in the prisons. I'd get inmates in there that were in my program that basically didn't think they had a problem. They really didn't think they had a problem. And if I could just get them to go from I don't have a problem to yes, I do have a problem, maybe that's all I was going to be able to do with it. But it's a step in the right direction. Trying to force somebody to go from pre-contemplation to action, it doesn't happen that often. They need to sort of work their way through those steps. And in fact, with my classes, a lot of what I was doing during those weeks and months of class of the program was getting the people to go from I don't have a problem, yeah, I guess I do have a problem, to yeah, here are some ideas, things I could be doing, and actually doing them. Okay, but sometimes it doesn't work that easy. All right, so the bottom line here is pretty simple. It's important that the friend and the family members understand these stages of change so that they at least have an idea of where the person is, and then they can act appropriately. And again, what we've been doing in these first videos, we've been discussing problems. When we get down to the other part, we're going to be discussing solutions, and we'll talk about how you can deal with these different stages of change. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. I hope, again, that this has been helpful. I'll catch you next time. Thank you. Hi, my name's Ken Seal, and this is Let's Talk Addiction. Now, if you like what you've seen and you think it can be helpful, and I believe it can be, I've been helping hundreds of people for years, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll keep these coming. Thank you.